Alister. How are you doing? You
I'm
okay?
good yourself.
Good. Yes, fine, thank you. Yes. Thank you for agreeing to come along and take time out of your busy schedule
No,
to join us and provide a little bit of entertainment for the day of what would have been the Snowman Rally
yeah,
this
no
year.
problem,
Yeah,
pleasure.
yeah. Good. So how are you getting on? How's life in Australia?
Yeah, no, life's compared to, I think back there we've had it fairly easy. The last 12 months talking to mum and dad back at home has been difficult in the UK and Scotland. So we've had the odd lockdown, but other than that, it's been pretty much life as normal. Can't travel anywhere. There's no real events for me to do, which anything I've been doing the last few years has always been either back in Europe or in New Zealand. So there's, I think it's the longest I've ever been in one place since I was probably 20 years old. So that's quite hard at times, but no, we certainly can't complain either. It's been good.
Yeah. Well, we're fingers crossed that we're going to get released soon. Yep. How's the weather been? You'll have better weather than us, I'm sure.
I'm in shorts and t-shirt here at the moment.
Oh, I know. I can see that. I'm really envious. We've just had a really cold snap. It's been really
Yeah,
snowy and cold. Yeah, typical Snowman Rally weather, as I'm sure you'll remember.
yeah, no, I do. I remember that the first year I did it in '89. It would have been there was quite a bit of snow then, and like when you're in the small front wheel drive car, the Nova, slippy conditioned, and especially if it's snowy and icy, it's a bit of a level playing field when it comes to the more powerful cars. So you always enjoyed these difficult conditions up there.
That's right. Yeah. We quite often get that up here. Yeah. But it's good. It's a good sort of grounding, isn't it, in how to drive, and all that.
Yeah, I mean
Rally car.
definitely I think the more at the time you probably don't think about it, the more difficult the conditions are, the more you learn, and it definitely helps you, future in rallying. So for me, the first time there was quite a bit of snow and ice, and at the time it was difficult. But then what you learn, you carry that on to other events, and
Yeah.
when you do get that later on in life, it's a big help. So.
Well, certainly didn't do you any harm, that's for sure.
No, I think there's a few of us come out of Scotland that haven't been too bad.
That's right. Yeah. And you had rather big footsteps to follow as well, didn't you? Yeah.
Yeah. There was more than one. There's Dad, then obviously Colin. So
Colin. Yeah.
they're fairly big footsteps. Now I've got my son Max. He's wanted to go in that way as well. So he's got probably more to follow than I had even.
Yeah, that's good. I was going to ask you about Max actually. Yeah. I was going to ask you what the plans were for him.
I mean, he's been doing karting up until last year, and then we did some rallies. There was the start of the season was cancelled here, obviously with COVID, but then he managed to do the 4 events with just a small fiesta out here, along with some race programs. So it's looking like we'll do similar again. We have got a car that we bought in Europe, but it's not actually left Europe yet. We bought it back in November and beginning of December, and we're still waiting for that to arrive out here. So I'm hoping we're going to get that here the end of March, beginning of April, and then he'll do some rounds in West Australia. Then, as long as the borders stay open, across to some events over east, and still doing some racing as well.
Brilliant. That's good. Oh well, that'll keep you busy.
He's doing a lot more than me.
Yeah, that's quite often the way, isn't it? Yeah. Well, do you remember? Go back to the snowman. Have you got any special memories about the snowman? Any funny stories or anything? I know your dad was telling me a couple of funny stories.
I do remember. I don't know whether it was the first year or the second year I did it, because we were obviously in the Nova. We hadn't been rallying for long. We started, I don't know what number we were, but we were well down the running order, and we were catching cars. And I think I'd asked Colin, what do you do if you catch a car and they don't move over? And Colin said, you just give a tap and let them know you're there. We caught one car and I was getting a bit frustrated, and Dave Senior was trying to calm me down and not do anything stupid. But as we came up to the junction, I thought, well, we'll just give him a tap. But as we came up to the junction, that tap turned into quite a fairly heavy bang because it was all icy and I couldn't stop. So We did get past him, and I don't know if I'm not sure he would know who it was that did it or ever wants to find. I don't ever want him to find out. But I think he might ended up in the ditch. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm. Oh well, like I said to your dad, that's rallying. That's what happens.
That's
Unfortunately.
it. It wasn't intentional that I hit him that
No.
hard. It was just the conditions caught me out.
Yeah. Well, that's it. Yeah, and on the ice up here, it's quite unpredictable a lot of the time. Yeah. Oh no, I
Yeah,
don't think anybody would have thought you'd done it intentionally. It's, as I say, it's just one of those
no,
things.
that's it. That's it.
Hmm. And we've talked about Max's plans for the future. Have you got any plans to come back and do some rallying, or what are you planning
Yeah,
doing?
I mean, I would love to get back across. At the moment, you pretty much we are not only in Australia. You can't travel out of Australia really.
Mm-hmm.
Without quarantining the way back, and even that it's difficult to get back in. They've cut flights in and out of here, and even up until probably the last few weeks, it's been difficult to even get from Western Australia across east without
Mm-hmm.
quarantine. So at the moment, I would say there's no plans to do anything out of here. I'm actually going over. This is my first trip away for the last 12 months. I'm heading over east on Friday to do some testing and development with a Mark II Escort over
Great.
in Coffs Harbour where the WRC was.
Uh-huh.
So I've only sorted that out today because the border restrictions get lifted last night. So
I
I'm
know it.
able to do some testing over there for Sunday, and
Yeah.
ideally, maybe do a bit more of that here in Australia. But as far as getting back to the UK,
Mm-hmm.
hopefully the second half of the year there's a potential to do that, but it'll just depend on how we slowly come out of the COVID mess that everybody's in.
That's right. Yeah. I think you're right. It's certainly maybe there's a bit of hope for the second half of the year. You
Yeah.
talked about the Mark II Escort. Which do you prefer? Do you prefer the older cars or the newer, more modern cars?
It's just different. I think any time I didn't drive a Mark II or any rear wheel drive cars till pretty much I was finished with WRC. So the WRC was, by the time you get to that level, I know it's a sport and you love doing it, but it's fairly intense, and you're obviously they've got a lot on your shoulders pressure wise. So then when you
Mm-hmm.
went and drove the likes of the Mark II Escort or whatever, for me that was just fun then. So from a purely fun point of view, you would say yeah, it's great to drive a Mark II, but for the adrenaline rush and for the speed that you go at in a World Rally car, then that's it's a different thing altogether. But they're equally as enjoyable. I would love to get a chance to drive a modern car now just to see what it is, because what you watch on television and the speeds they carry through the corners and the suspension travel, the level of grip they've got. It's come along such a long way now, so it would be good to get a chance to try that at some point.
Yeah. Oh well, hopefully we'll get to see you out in them, because yeah, they certainly are, and they're developing all the time. Obviously, so they are getting much faster and.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think if you look at the stage times from the R5 cars, which is obviously WRC2, will
Mm-hmm.
be way quicker than what we were doing, with the top WRC car back in the day. So everything just moves on suspension, tyres, and obviously the latest cars, the aero's a big thing on it, which
Mm-hmm.
allows them to carry the speed through the corner. So
Yeah.
they're definitely impressive to watch now.
Mm-hmm. Yep, definitely. But there is really nothing like a Mark II. Speaking from experience.
I saw something in social media last night. It was Peter Solberg was out trying his new Mark II Escort in the frozen lake.
Yep,
So it's hard to beat that noise.
absolutely. I saw that too. Yeah, it was absolutely fantastic, wasn't it? Yeah.
I'll get to test that, not in the frozen lake obviously, but I'll get a bit of a test for that
Oh, I don't know.
at the weekend. So
Yeah. What sort of weather are you expecting? Because it'd be nice weather over there just now, and you're just shorts and t-shirts there where you are. But is it different
yeah,
on the
I mean
east?
over east it's all fairly similar at the moment. It can get a bit more humid over in the eastern side, but it'll be 30 degrees or slightly more. And
Wow.
certainly warmer than you've got, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Oh, we're getting there. We're getting there. I'm sure in a few weeks' time we'll never get that close to 30 degrees that
Yeah.
often, but yeah. Oh well, that's good. That's good. Oh, well, it's been really good to chat to you. I don't want to keep you back from from anything that you're doing.
No problem. Pleasure.
But it was
So
really good of you to.
I take it this is a few interviews and stuff going out when the Snowman should have been on.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, and we're doing it on the day the event was supposed to happen. Yeah, just to keep. Well, we would have been the first round of the Scottish Rally Championship as well.
Yeah.
So it's just to kind of let people know that we're still out there. We're still doing things. We will get back to it as soon as we can. But like you say, it's going to be the second half of the year. I think it's going to be the same up here too. It's going to be certainly after July, August, maybe time before we get.
Hopefully this vaccine they're all going on about is going to do some good and get people back in the forest where they belong.
Absolutely, yes, I agree to that. Yeah, if I'm honest, I think single venues will get going first. Probably Knockhill and places like that. Yeah. You'll have done a bit at Knockhill, the McRae Challenge.
Yeah, no, we've obviously been there for the McRae. What is that now? 3 years ago now, and we should have been there last year.
Last September, yeah.
The potential to be this year. We're hoping that we can go over this year if it all goes according to plan and it runs. But it would obviously just to get back to Scotland and see the family, and if it involves driving rally cars, then it's a perfect weekend.
More. Okay, right. Well, thank you very much for that. I'll let you go.
No worries. Stay safe back there and enjoy getting back in a car at some point.
Yes, yes, definitely. And do look out for us on the 6th of March. I'm sure there'll be some other stuff there. You'll get a good laugh, if nothing else, at some of my interviews and some of the other interviews. Okay, Alister, thank you and take care.
Thanks very much.
Stay safe. Bye.